Thursday here at BraveNewCoin. Let's take a look at some legacy charts, starting with the usual correlations, which are extremely important, or at least have been. If correlations on backtesting were meaningless, I wouldn't be looking at this every week. But because Bitcoin and crypto in general, for the most part, has been highly correlated to risk-on markets or risk-on environments, it's a good idea to do a little barometer check every week, see what's going on in the markets that correlate. Are the correlations holding? That sort of thing. I always look at the VIX first, usually the volatility index. The VIX is kind of a psychological metric. Most of us can feel it if the VIX is high or low. If the VIX is high, there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of panic. There's a lot of uncertainty. I think COVID in 2008, financial crisis are two of the biggest spikes in the VIX ever since inception. Obviously, COVID, March 2020, breakdown on legacy along with crypto. Anybody who was in markets at that time knows what's going on. So VIX high equals bad, VIX low equals good, VIX dropping is good, and good I mean risk on. VIX being low, it means that things are risk on. We've continued to just slowly melt down the VIX. It hit like 95, I don't know what the exact print was, but it was at least above 80. And it's continuing its slow grind down. It likes to live sub 20, the VIX does, based on available data. And we're getting there. You know, we still haven't quite gotten there, but we're still getting there. I think the big thing is as long as it's declining and quiet, we're fine. If the VIX starts popping off like a log in a fire, then we are in trouble in crypto land. And if Q4 seasonality is bullish, we need VIX to be just calm as a morning dew over a pond. Okay, we need this just quiet. We need risk on. Dixie is another one that historically we haven't correlated with Dixie-ish. It's not a super clean one-to-one here, but the dollar index for the most part is a risk-off type of thing. It's other stuff as well, but we don't want to be correlated with that typically. And since 2017, we really haven't been. There's been very brief periods. This is all 30-week rolling, by the way. We've had very brief periods of positive correlation. Currently, we're actually positively correlated, which is kind of weird. I'll look at the Dixie in a second. Gold has just been all over the map correlations-wise. We're heavily negatively correlated with gold right now, which is good because gold has done a bunch of nothing. The 10-year note, somebody alerted my attention to. We're actually pretty correlated with that since the beginning of the year. I don't really know why specifically. And the Nikkei as well. We've been highly correlated with that historically, the Japanese index. Now the SPX and NDX, we probably have the highest periods of positive correlation with those on Bitcoin side of things, but currently we're not. We're not positively correlated. As crazy as this sounds, both the SPX and NDX look like they're potentially setting up for bullish continuation, and I'll take a look at that as well. But starting with the DXY, the Dixie, for months and weeks, I've been saying this thing looks like it's going to break out. Forex takes forever to move. We get lifetime moves in crypto every quarter. For metals, it takes a millennia for this stuff to finally move. This was a multi-month pattern in the works. But the thing about slow things is that it's much easier to spot them as they're happening. You can be terrible at looking at chart patterns and see this in May, finally, like, oh, this is probably going to be this, and still have time to plan ahead, right? But in any regard, it's through the cloud now. It's triggered an edge-to-edge trade in a vacuum. It wants 96 flat Kumo equals magnet. It's going to hit 96 eventually. It's just a matter of when. Ideally, it happens post Q4, Q1. Ideally, this does nothing in Q4 and it surges Q1, crypto dumps Q1 with taxes, all the seasonality aligns, blah, blah, blah. Love it. Okay, right now, this thing just needs to pipe down Dixie. And the reason why the Dixie is popping off is because the euro is melting down and the Dixie is 62% euro USD as an index. The euro does have some oversold vibes. It's got bull div rather, and I don't know. It's definitely bearish. Don't get me wrong. Trend-wise, it's below the cloud. It's below the 200. It's below the yearly pivot. It probably wants to go to 111. But right in the moment, this thing could pull up and hamper the Dixie move to the upside. There's also some sort of probably falling broadening wedge or something, expanding broadening wedge, whatever it's called. I'll show one on the BBBY chart. That is the textbook version of one. Gold and a lot of the stuff I'm about to show kind of looks like DeFi, where it's like, you know, it doesn't look bad. It's more neutral than bearish, and it's ready potentially to do something crazy sooner rather than later. So gold has been at this level since March, basically, where it's at the 200, at the cloud, at the yearly pivot. There's so much congestion and confluence here for support resist level. You know, it's a key level, that sort of thing. There's also a potential inverted head and shoulders here on top of all that. So it wouldn't surprise me based on technicals for gold to have a bit of a move eventually. Maybe it's Q1 when things are quieting down. I don't know. I'd have to look at the DXY gold correlations, but this looks pre-breakout to me. This looks ready to move. Definitely within the next month, I'd imagine. It's consolidated for a long time, but again, Forex and metals move extremely slow. Silver just had this continuous walk down. Bull div here that's probably playing out now. Definitely not bullish on trend and needs to hold 22.5, whatever that yearly pivot is. And I wouldn't get excited about this until it's above 25 again. SPX has this inverted head and shoulders quality on the daily. On the crypto cloud settings, it's got TK cross recross in the making here. If this thing pulls back up above the cloud and you get a bullish TK recross, I mean, here's one right here as an example. Boom. That is extremely powerful for bullish continuation and would be excellent for crypto if this stuff can stay bullish and hit 4,800, wherever all-time highs are. Still above the 200, still above the cloud, so it looks fine on trend. Same thing with NDX. Held above the cloud, held above the 200, held above the yearly pivot. Setting up for a bullish TK recross above the cloud to 1,700, or 17K rather. I wouldn't rule that out. You know, there's plenty of backtesting just right here on bullish TK recrosses. They always look like a mess until in hindsight you're like, yeah, oh yeah, that's obviously bullish continuation. Bullish TK recross, key gene bounce, right? This one was a bit more of a mess, but it held for a move. It doesn't mean it's going to move 10,000%, but it does mean it's probably going to move pretty strong to the upside because you've tested support and you're back on the bullish side of things. GME kind of looks like a lot of DeFi stuff. It is just below the cloud, barely above the 200, just waiting. You know, there's no patterns here. There's no anything per se. But if SPX and NDX pull up, it would not surprise me for GME to make a run above 190. Does it make sense on fundamentals? No. Does it make sense on fundamentals why AMC is at 40? No. But it's triple bottoming on the 200 on the 4 hour. It's almost about the cloud on the 4 hour. Anything above 42, I like a run up on that. BBBY has the chart patternists textbook expanding broadening wedge. This is a multi-year expanding broadening wedge. I don't know if you're going to see a better one anywhere in anything. At least I haven't. Not only that, but this entire time you had a bull div. I mean, this is on the weekly. It looks better, but just to show you, this stuff happens in legacy all the time as well. Currently, on low time frames, it does have a pretty decent bull div here. I don't hate it as a buy, honestly. It's so far down below the 200. Fundamentals are probably a mess, but this doesn't look bad from a buying it as an oversold type of situation. Coin looks not bad. This is Coinbase. If crypto's bullish in Q4, coin should be bullish as well. It's above the 200 on the 4 hour. It's above the cloud on the 4 hour. It's starting to get above this volume congestion on the 4 hour. So it would not surprise me if the insider selling has finally slowed down and demand will catch up with this in Q4. If we're bullish, you know, I think we will be. It's looking better and better every day. Every day past October that we're above trend metrics is extremely bullish and a good sign for crypto. Hood does not look like coin, right? Like there's a difference here. Hood is basically at effective all-time lows, below the 200 on the hourly, below the cloud on the hourly, still within volume range, but this is not a bullish looking chart by any means. It could be bullish above 44, 45, but this isn't as optimistic as coin. Doge, much like DeFi, just kind of chilling here at the 200 below the cloud. Anything above a quarter into November, you know, if we get some crazy rotations, this thing could have another run. It could have its run to $1 in late Q4, right? That could happen very well. And if Hood turns bullish, Doge, AMC, these meme stonks will probably turn bullish as well. MSTR looks incredibly good here too. It's above the cloud, above the 200. It has had quite a mess of a journey from February to now, the entire time below the cloud. But I like this thing above 800 if we're mega bullish in Q4, if we get these BTC ETFs approved over the next couple days. This thing's just going to blast off. Probably it's mostly BTC. It's 80% BTC. On the flip side, if people are thinking I can actually participate in a real ETF now, they may sell MSTR, right? Like maybe I'm wrong there, but I think anything that's involved with crypto should be bullish if anything else in crypto is bullish. So I'm still bullish MSTR in that regard. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Do people flood out of MSTR who had been holding it as basically a BTC ETF? What happens there? But this looks good in a vacuum. For bullishness, Square just kind of flat sideways. They hold a ton of crypto, which is why I look at them every week. If SPX and NDX turn bullish, it would not surprise me for this thing to reach the next yearly pivot up at around 380 sooner rather than later. If this, then that, but it looks good so far. It's shaping up quite well. Really, anything past 280, and I like strong highs beyond that. Tesla's a bit of a weird one. Fundamentals are absolute junk. Technicals are interesting in that it's continuing to kind of squeeze itself past bear div territory with a rising wedge that is kind of breaking up just now. Every week it's kind of like, is this going to break down? It looks like it's going to break down. It's got a bear div, but it keeps moving up. If this does have a run to all-time highs, I like 1150. That's the zone. If we measure this from high to low, that's the target. Trend is obviously bullish. It's above the 200, it's above the cloud, it's above volume stuff. This may cup and handle and then go, but I like all-time highs, as crazy as that sounds for Tesla. Twitter as well looks excellent, looks pre-breakout to me. Above the 200, almost above the cloud. This mess of a multi-shouldered, head and shoulder monstrosity, whatever this is, this looks good for all-time highs, potentially to 100. Anything above 67 looks good to me. On the Grayscale side of things, premiums are still heavily negative, and it'll be interesting to see, again, much like MSTR, what happens here. Do people just flood out of this thing saying, enough's enough, I'm going to participate in something real? Or do they say, I'm doubling down on holding here because this thing's going to be converted into an ETF eventually, and the discount's going to disappear, and I'm going to be able to get out at a parity with spot. I don't know. I don't know if people are thinking necessarily, but if you've been holding GBTC for years, you're probably not going to be selling it at a discount to spot. You're probably going to be waiting until it gets close to parity with spot. And that very well may happen as we get ETFs. I think initially this may push heavily negative and then sort of equalize as people view this as a potentially discounted ETF, assuming it gets approved, right? A lot of assumptions there. Lastly, I'll just mention the ETH-BTC fund and DeFi portfolio. I trade for Technique Capital and Enzyme Finance, a non-custodial portfolio management tool where you can send ETH or USDC or just watch what I'm doing. You can see everything, including AUM performance, allocation, and the trades in the trades tab down below. That's all I have for this one. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.